On this channel, I help adults graduate college quickly. Typically, that means doing a consultation with me and graduating in 1 to 2 years instead of the regular 4+. And to be able to keep up that pace, a lot of my clients are knocking out a CLEP exam or a SOFIA like every 2 weeks. That speed might seem crazy, but if you use the 7 strategies listed in this video, you could be earning college credit every few days. I've got some great tips coming, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. So if at any point you feel lost or like you don't know what credits or what type of credits to pick, don't panic. You can always sign up for a consultation with me using the link in the description, and I'm more than happy to help you put together a path to graduating quickly and inexpensively so that you can build a career you love. But let's go ahead and get started with these tips. The first one is a little bit obvious. This is the weakest method because you already kind of have to know something, but if you were really good at a topic in high school, if you like to stay up on something or you watch a bunch of documentaries, there's a chance that there is a CLEP exam that is going to be something you could pass in the next week. If you don't know what CLEP exams are, basically there are over 30 subject-based exams put together by the College Board, and if you get a high enough score on these, over 3,000 colleges in the United States will consider giving you college credit for having passed that test. Back when I was 15, I decided to take the Analyzing and Interpreting Literature CLEP exam, and I loved reading. I was really, really good at analyzing literature, and it was my favorite subject in high school. And so I spent like 15 minutes studying for this, went and took it, and blew the test out of the water because it was just something that I was already really good at. So if you want to pass a CLEP this week, I recommend taking one of the easier ones that you probably already know something about, and I'll go ahead and list a few of those here. To make this happen, I would go to the CLEP website, pick a CLEP exam that sounds like something you already know something about, and then I would either get a official CLEP study guide and take a practice test there, or go ahead and pay the money to get Peterson's practice tests, which are my favorite. I can't tell you exactly how ready you have to be to pass a CLEP, but I know that if I got 75% on a Peterson's practice CLEP exam, I would probably just sign up for the CLEP right away. And if you want to learn more about taking CLEP exams fast, I've got a 7-day CLEP exam study guide video right up here. ALEKS courses are an awesome way to quickly earn college math credit. Basically, the way this works is you pay $20 a month and you get access to 7 courses that have been approved by the American Council on Education as being worthy of getting college credit for. The way this works is basically if you get a 70% on their in-class quizzes and tests, then ACE will recommend that you get college credit, and a lot of colleges will take that recommendation super seriously and consider giving you college credit for these. Some colleges have even committed saying, yes, if you pass this, we will give you college credit for these courses. McGraw-Hill is ALEKS's parent company, and basically they say that if you already know the subject for this course pretty well, you could maybe knock it out in a few hours, but for the average student, it's going to take closer to like 40 hours worth of work. And when you consider that the average college course is supposed to take students about 144 hours worth of work, you can see why ALEKS is pretty speedy. And side note, I'm linking to ALEKS and all these other resources in the description so that you can access them super easily. Next up, we've got onlinedegree.com, which is a relatively newish one that I personally only learned about a few days ago, but they are really, really cool. Basically, they are completely free. You hop in and you start taking some of their courses and you take the quizzes and the tests that go along with it. And if you score high enough, they'll recommend to your college that you get credit for what you've done. So sign up for an account, pick a course, start going through the lessons, score high enough, and get college credit. Not every college is going to give you credit for online degree courses, but there are a lot of really popular hackable colleges that I talk about in this video that do, like Southern New Hampshire University will consider their credit, Excelsior will consider their credit, Thomas Edison's in here. There's a lot of schools that take these credits very seriously. That being said, they're also super fast. I did some research on what other people have been saying, and the average I'm hearing is that people are knocking these courses out in 20 to 30 hours, but that there was at least one guy who said he knocked out one in 10 hours, which is pretty fast. I'm assuming he already knew something about the topic and that helped, but still, 20 to 30 hours is hard to beat. Next up, we've got study.com, and they're actually really similar to onlinedegree.com, except they cost money, but they also have a lot more options to choose from, and they're probably going to get accepted by more schools. They literally have 382 different courses to choose from that they say will potentially transfer as college credit. Of course, it depends on your school. Study.com does cost $200 per course, And they say that they transfer to potentially up to 1,500 different colleges, including some of the ones on this page like WGU, which is a partner with them. And you can see here, Study.com guaranteed transfer. They've made deals with these schools like Charter Oak, Liberty University's in here, Thomas Edison's in here. They've made deals where these schools have said, yes, certain courses we will accept as transfer credit. Study.com itself recommends about 2 to 3 weeks per course, which is a great speed, but as long as you're not doing a writing course, it can go much faster. I've done my research to see what the going rates are, and generally a lot of people online are saying that these courses take them about 20 hours worth of work, which if you're being pretty dedicated about, can take like 3 to 7 days, which is super awesome. And if you try this with Study.com or with any of the other ones we're talking about today, please leave a comment down below and tell us how fast you went through it. All right, I'm going to start sounding a little bit like a broken record because a lot of these options are very similar. It's these third-party course options where you go through at your own pace and learn things as you go. You take a final quiz and you get credit for it. And the latest one that we're going to talk about is Straighterline.com. Straighterline.com is very similar to Study.com. They have a lot of courses to choose from, not quite as many as Study.com, but their pricing model is different where you pay $100 a month and then usually about $60 per course itself to be able to take it. With these, probably the biggest perk about Straighterline is that they have way more partner colleges to choose from. So you can see there are just a ton of colleges that have made a commitment to take Straighterline courses as specific classes. And Straighterline themselves say that it takes about 75 hours per course, but that's probably based on an estimate for maybe a student who's not really used to going through college courses or maybe knows nothing whatsoever about a topic and doesn't feel confident in it whatsoever. I'm seeing a lot of other people online who are knocking out specific Straighterline courses in 1 to 2 days. Like, for instance, I've taught college composition before, so I feel pretty confident that if I took English Composition 1 with Straighterline, I could probably knock that out within that timeline. And there's not much more to say than that. Straighterline is very slick, integrates well with different schools, is decently priced, has a lot of courses to choose from, and you will finish these courses very fast. PLA stands for Prior Learning Assessment. Some schools will call it portfolio credit, but the difference is minimal. What's actually happening here is they're saying, hey, you have work experience and things you've done in the past. Let us give you college credit for those because it basically is the same as a course that we have. So if you've been in management for a long time, you might be able to convince a school, hey, give me credit for your class Intro to Management because there's not much that I could learn there. And schools offer this so that they can support students' graduation success and so that they can attract more students. Like, hey, you'll get more PLA from us. Why don't you attend our school? The process varies. Some schools will say, hey, go ahead and write 3 papers about this topic, submit a letter from your boss saying that you have experience with this, and show us a work log. Cool. We'll assess it for $100, and then we'll give you college credits. Some schools will say, all right, you're going to sign up for a course that will count as 3 credits towards your free electives, and it's called our portfolio course. You're going to hop in there, and we're going to assess all of your work experience, and we might give you a ton of credit based on this, but it does have to count as a college course. But if you have like certificates or military experience, there are a ton of schools out there that will just assess it, look at it, and be like, oh, cool, he's got that certificate, she's got that military experience. Here's like 15 college credits. Go for it. And I've actually used this process myself. In my PhD in higher education administration, I'd already been working in higher education administration for several years, and I knew a lot of the things that the courses were about. Like, I could have been teaching those topics. And so for a few classes, I was able to submit a portfolio of work that I'd done that showed I was knowledgeable in those areas. And, you know, it cost me a few $100 to do it and to get those assessed, but I got like 15, 14 credits knocked out. And as far as speed goes, especially if you're in a school where they do the portfolio-based class, it'll take longer. But if they're doing simple assessments or looking at your certifications, you could be getting college credit within like 3 to 5 days, which makes this a really good option. Our final means of earning college credits quickly is Sophia Learning. Guys, this one is one of my favorites because it's the cleanest, the best designed, and one of the most streamlined. Now, they don't have as many options as like straighterline.com or study.com, but their price can't be beat and their speed can't be beat. They cost $100 per month, and you can knock out as many courses as you want in that amount of time. They do have a solid amount of courses to choose from, and they have a lot of colleges that they partner with that say, to some extent or another, we guarantee that we'll accept these Sophia courses towards this requirement at our school. For instance, we've got WGU here, and you can see that they say if you take the Sophia English Composition 1, that will count as English Composition 1 at WGU. They're also the exact same model as Straighterline and Study.com, where you go through the materials, you finish the lessons, you take the quizzes, there's a final test, and if you score high enough, they'll recommend the college to give you college credit. But how fast is it? Well, if you know what you're doing, you move quickly and you stay motivated, and it helps if you know a little bit about the subject already. You could be knocking out Sophia courses in a matter of days or even a matter of hours. I've talked to students face-to-face who had knocked out these courses in a weekend, a day, or even an evening. There's even a YouTuber named Crystal, who I'll link down below, who knocked out 30 Sophia credits in 1 month. And even though it was unconfirmed, I have had one person tell me they knocked out 51 credits of Sophia in 1 month. And I'm guessing they didn't spend a lot of time with friends or family to be able to accomplish that, but they did accomplish it. So those are the 7 best ways that I know of to earn college credit in a matter of days. You don't have to go as fast as these options will allow, but you can if you want. And if you want some guidance in help picking out, which method to use, which course to pick, how to apply it to your college, I'd be more than happy to do a consultation with you. As a former college advisor, as somebody who hacked college myself using these methods, I've got a lot of experience and I can help put you on the right track. You can sign up for a consultation in the link in the description down below, and I would be happy to help you graduate college quickly and inexpensively so that you can build a career that you love. Thanks for watching, and happy hacking.